So the question is, what is neo-soul guitar? I got asked this question quite often by people approaching neo-soul for the first time, and today I want to cover a few things that I think make neo-soul guitar quite unique. But first, I thought that we should ask Alexa. Alexa, play neo-soul guitar. Okay, so what I want to do today is analyzing what I think is the most neo-soul guitar riff that you can find these days. Obviously, I'm talking about modern R&B and neo-soul guitar, which is this riff by Maseo called Tadow, and I really hope that I pronounced this correctly, but I'm not sure about it, so guys, let me know in the comments as always. Now, this doesn't want to be a song tutorial. What I want to do instead is discussing what makes this riff neo-soul and how you can make your own neo-soul riffs or learn your favorite neo-soul riffs. Now, really, in this riff there are only two chords. Okay, and this is amazing. It's just A minor 9, D minor 7. Okay, so we are in the key of A minor when we play this, and we'll see from the melody even more how you can certainly say that you are in the key of A minor. And you know, minor 7 and extended chords like minor 9, minor 11 are already really common in R&B and neo-soul guitar. It's that part of R&B and neo-soul guitar that takes the harmony from jazzy sounds, jazz music, and the soul classics. And the other thing is that you play arpeggios, single note arpeggios. Now, you can play arpeggios with your fingers, you can play them with your pick. I like to do it with my fingers this way, and this already is quite interesting, okay, because you go from the root to the ninth and then backwards, and then there is also a walking bass line to go to D minor 7, okay, to get to that D minor 7. You basically use the fifth of the chord and then a chromatism bringing you back to the D minor 7 chord. Alternating root and fifth of the chord is also common in other styles, okay? I think of bossa nova because I really love bossa nova guitar. That happens all the time, and it happens with, you know, minor 9 chords as well. Okay, and I see something of that influence even here. Okay, but then obviously you reach the D minor 7, which you can play this way, you can play this way, it doesn't matter really like you played. And you start the same way. You start playing an arpeggio. But then you have that classic neo-soul move, which, by the way, I broke down into a proper lesson, into a proper video, this kind of move a few weeks ago, so check out that video on my channel if you haven't watched it yet. But it's when you play these kind of things. Okay, now when you do this kind of thing, you're really playing the upper part of the chord. You're really playing this D minor 7 extended to the ninth as well, so it becomes a D minor 9 as well. And you do that through hammer-ons and pull-off, okay, which you play on the first string. Okay, so you can think of this D minor 7 or this D minor 7, however you want to play it. Then move your D on the first string and you get your bar, and then with your ring finger or with your pinky, but I would say with your ring finger, you can play the hammer-on and maybe if you like the pull-off, or one of these two, even just this, you know. That already sounds cool, but what they play in that riff sounds more like where you do this neo-soul move plus another couple of notes, which are really an embellishment based on the D minor pentatonic, okay? And all together, all in all, that sounds really neo-soul. I think this is the thing that really defines neo-soul because it's one of the most common embellishments in this style. It's not the only one, and if you watch other videos on my channel, you will find more neo-soul moves and more neo-soul grips. But this one is really common and it sounds amazing. And what I selected as the most neo-soul riff, in my opinion, really has that as its signature, okay? But it's not the only one. So let's check out the second time we go through the chords. So after doing this thing, they do, And this thing is another signature thing of neo-soul guitar and R&B, of course, and it's that Hendrix approach to double stops. So most people think of Jimi Hendrix as a rock guitarist, which obviously is true, and he is a legend, of course, but R&B guitar also takes a huge influence in Jimi Hendrix and the use of typical double stops of that style, which you can find in R&B, you can find in gospel, in neo-soul pieces like we've just played now, and we just need to understand what's going on here when we play that. Well, effectively, I'm repeating the bass note, the D note here, and then I'm using two strings, the D and the G strings, to play two strings, hammer on here, okay, go to the next note on the A string for the pentatonic scale. I'm thinking of shape 1 of D minor pentatonic, and then you play a slide, which is the final part of the melody, which leads you to the 9th of the chord. So it's the same as this thing that we do the first time, but just 1 octave lower, like... Okay, again, you can play it with the pick. I just like to play it finger picking, but feel free to try with the pick as well. So although there are other elements that you find in neo-soul riffs and neo-soul songs, I think this is quite unique. It has a minor 9th chord, a minor 7th chord, which you then extend to the 9th through the classic neo-soul move. There are melodies and embellishments taken from the pentatonic scales, and obviously there are double stops in a very much Hendrix R&B style. And finally, there is the melody, which is played in the record by the sax, but we can learn a lot about neo-soul from that melody. The melody has definitely a more soul jazzy flavor, of course, but it really goes through the notes of the chord and the notes of the scale, the key really. We are in the key of A minor, we said, and particularly the first chord had a voicing which we called A minor 9, and the 9th is this note here, the note B. Now you can play that note here on the first string or here, that's up to you. I like to play it here because you get that first part of the melody entirely, you know, trying to recreate that sound that the sax does. Kind of like this really, all based on the A minor scale, a natural minor scale, you know? You can look at it from A this way. Obviously you can play it somewhere else on the fretboard. You know, wherever you like really. And yeah, you use basically extensions that you already find in these chords. It's nothing but repeating that top note of the A minor 9, you know, and then moving around the other notes of the scale, ending on this, you know, C, which is the minor 7th on that D minor 7. Okay. Second time that you play it, you're going to finish on a different note. And that note is really the 11th. So you can, the 11th of the D minor, you can think of it as a D minor 11. Then you repeat the same thing of the first time. And then you want to finish kind of this way. Which means you want to again go to that B, the 9th, the 9th of the A minor 9, but 1 octave lower, and then ending on A, which is the root. And then when you switch to D minor 7, you do da da do do. So you want to use the A as your 5th of the chord, but also as the root of the tonic, okay? Da da do do. So together you play something, the sax plays something like da da do do. So you might think again, why are we learning a melody played by the sax? But I personally learned so much from sax phrases, trumpet phrases when I was transcribing solos, especially in jazz, especially when I was transcribing people like Sonny Rollins, for instance. And this is really connected to neo-soul because the neo-soul vocabulary really takes a lot from jazz as well. Alright guys, so this is my analysis of this Neo Soul guitar riff. Again, it doesn't want to be a tutorial. I might do other analysis like this one in the future, so if you guys want me to check out any other Neo Soul riff, Neo Soul song, let me know in the comments. I'll check out those songs and probably break them down into videos here on the channel. But again, not as tutorials, more as an analysis of what is going on to understand how you can learn them, how you can define Neo Soul guitar, how you can make your own Neo Soul guitar progressions and riffs. But I won't be uploading any tab of these songs on my Patreon, so you guys will not find a tab of this particular song on Patreon because you can't upload tabs and music notation of songs that you don't own. So unless you have a license from the copyright owner, you shouldn't be uploading any tab or notation of that song. That being said guys, that's all for this lesson. If you want to check out the other rewards available on my Patreon, that's a good way to support this channel. And for all of the other chord progressions that I make, you will always find music notation and tabs available for you to download on my Patreon page. The links are in the description below. As always, a big thank you for watching my videos and for supporting my channel. Have a great day.